Greetings, YouTube community. My name is Tyler the Destroyer. I go on this YouTube community site that you all linger on, and I'm going to give you my true and right and gracious opinion to you on what music is, when it is wrong and when it is right and when it is... because there's so much out there, and I'm going to tell you what you need to listen to. You are listening to the wrong things right now, probably. You are probably listening to some bullshit that you should get out of your computer seat. It's garbage. I'm going to give this review to the people that actually have intelligence and, like, any sort of idea of what any... If you don't know who Kanye West is, you're like 12, or you're 40, or you're 50, or 60, or you're way too fucking old to be listening to me. Frankly, I'm not much of a big fan of him. Personality-wise and music-wise. Then again, I'm not about the whole hip-hop icon persona thing. I'm not involved in everyone about who's doing what and who's fucking who. So I put on this album and on site, come that on, and then I hear the really gritty and kind of like acid housey kind of beat that goes into that. Very minimal. That's all there is. Like, you just hear that. And now you gotta say, I really fucking liked that. I don't know who produced it, which I originally thought it was Daft Punk, but I did like that part of that song. Because while it is out of Kanye's nature, and while I'm not a fan of how Kanye always tries to, like, get out of his shell to do all these different kinds of styles of music that don't pertain to modern hip-hop, I do like it of how he's pulling off this minimalism to really drive this beat and this whole song a little bit more straightforward to the listener, especially on the first track. However, everything he has to say in this track is shit. I don't care about his fame, I don't care about his wife, I don't care about his critics, it all doesn't mean anything. He has a huge ego, and for anyone that appreciates it just because he's honest, it doesn't mean shit. Just because you're an honest asshole doesn't make you any less of an asshole, and when you're an asshole, I don't want to listen to it. In some of his songs, I don't appreciate his ego, but while it's not what I am, like, just reflecting off of, I do think that it does well with most of his songs, like in his juxtaposition of trying to be more aggressive, and the guy that has the big ego, the big honcho, macho, shogun man, because that's what he is. He's one of the most powerful men in America. And with that being said, I do like of how he does use that persona in some of his songs, like on Sight, on the New Slaves. Definitely do like that part on New Slaves with the boom, 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 boom. I will give him props for that. However, in the same problems that I have with On Sight, one of the things that definitely pinches me on this album is the really fucking awkward... Why would you break it? Like, I'm listening to this, like, badass, like, thing about, like, boom, 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 and then he breaks off into some weird sample that has... It's like, sounds like a vast, like, chorus of... It's just awkward. I don't know why he would put that in there. One of the things I have a huge problem on this album is so many awkward breaks. On more than half the majority of the songs, of where it's starting off with the kind of minimalism, like mostly on New Slaves and On Sight, of which I'm particularly fond of the melody, it has these really awkward breaks that just breaks the whole momentum of, like, this supposed to be, like, it's just very anticlimactic, I feel. When he just stops it in the middle of it, all I feel like he's trying to do is just trying to be some connoisseur of so many kinds of different music, which is another huge thing I have a problem with most of his music. He uses a bunch of unnecessary samples. Use a fucking... Why are you using King Crimson in that one song on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fan? No fucking reason. No fucking reason. Yeah, you're a 21st century schizoid man. I don't even know what that is. Something that I'm very particular about on most albums is I like the album artwork. I actually kind of reflect on it when I think of the album. When I think of all the songs that I've heard on a certain album, I'm going to think of the album artwork. It's what I look on my iPod, it's what I look on my iTunes. Whatever fucking reason he used for this Yeezus artwork, it means nothing to me. I understand minimalism to its finest, trust me. What is it saying? It's saying nothing rather than he was either lazy or what? It's very raw of him. It just makes me feel nothing. And I just feel like it was an easy cop-out for an album that was supposed to be so dark and edgy and spooky. In the song Black Skinhead, it's that kind of cool how it has like that Marilyn Manson kind of drum beat going on that makes it all like as if dogs are prowling and such. But the fact is, what are you doing trying to scream? Like that real pussy whip scream, like, ah! Are you kidding me? What is that? It sounds like you're getting pinched in your sleep. Is that supposed to be an aggressive scream to me? Because if so, it's shit. And it made it a shit song, therefore. So sorry, Kanye. Don't ever try to scream. You're not MC Ride, you're not a vocalist, you're a rapper. And if you're going to try to do that, I want to hear your lungs being ripped out of your throat if you really are sincere about that. Otherwise, you can keep throwing this shit to your mediocre audience. I'm not buying it. Hold My Liquor What do I need to say about this? You're putting Chief Keef to put on some emotive chorus about how these bitches and these niggas can't hold... Why would you do such a... Yeah, if you want to, like, put the integration of so many different arts and styles, but what the fuck are you thinking about putting Chief Keef on some emotive chorus part? I would have put him on some scary-ass banger with guns and shit. I want to hear that Back from the Dead shit from Chief Keef. So ignorant, so monotone, it's like he's a fucking zombie. But instead, you chose to put him on an emotive song with the dude from Bon Iver, Justin Vernon. Why would you do such a thing? That is... It made the song absolute garbage as soon as I heard it. And it drags on the whole thing. I would actually be even happier if you put in one of those awkward breaks and cuts of samples. So I wouldn't have to hear and even think that Chief Keef is... Why would you do such a thing? With this giant mixing pot of all these artists you have on here, it doesn't appeal to me. Now, while it's great for reviewers like Pitchfork and NPR and NME or any kind of music reviewing site to just eat it up, that you are such a connoisseur and collaborator of all these different kinds of music, but it doesn't mean shit when it all sounds awkward and so out of place. Sure, it sounds like a great idea. It's like making up all those weird metaphors and saying, hey, what if like X and Y collaborated together? Wouldn't that be crazy? It would, because it wouldn't fucking be right, and it's very hard to pull off. And frankly, you did it well on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and now it's just, this whole thing sounds like you took a piece of paper, you threw up on it, you threw it against the window, and you thought, whose name does that spell out? Like it's one of those abstract psychological pictures that they ask what you see in it, and then you just choose that artist, and then you said, okay, I'll put him on this song. Also, this whole auto-tune thing, I honestly can't appreciate of how he's able to pull it off on a lot of songs, like in 808 and Heartbreaks, and was breaking the stereotype of it being some form of a scapegoat for someone who can't sing. But this is getting way too far with all these vocal features, and for him himself to just keep going on and dragging on about the same bullshit that's always happened in his life, with his fame, his critics. Who the fuck cares? Do you care? I don't. Blood on the Leaves was probably my biggest disappointment on this thing, because when I heard that Tonight was collaborating with him, I thought it was going to be just a massive, magnanimous banger. But putting it on, like I said, same problem. Terrible juxtaposition with this emotive thing about blood on the leaves and this woman like singing and shit and trying to be all like, my mascara is coming off. And then you put in Tonight on there. Are you kidding me? What is this? I don't cry and then I just go hard. That just doesn't happen. It's just so awkward. And it's a great beat too. And it's got that beefy horns with the crashing drums and such. It has everything that Tonight needs. They're putting their all out there. And then Kanye just says, would it be a cool thing if I put these two together and then just sell it out there and have fucking websites like Pitchfork and shit eat it up? Well, congratulations. Altogether, like I said, most of the problems I have with this is the terrible juxtaposition with the moods and the artist collaborations and even the auto-tune with some of the times when it's supposed to go hard and such, like on Blood on the Leaves. That, his rapping themes, and his redundance of his ego always being displayed in all of his songs. Also, to anyone who even says that this is Death Grips-esque, get out. Get out. Fuck you. This is nowhere near the dreading, cacophonous shitstorm that Death Grips puts in your ears when you listen to them. Anyone who says that, please just get out. Fuck you. Straight up. But anyway, for anyone who doesn't say that, who is actually a sane person, like myself, like I said, I didn't like this. I thought it was garbage. I actually was excited for it just because I heard it was supposed to be darker material. And when he performed on SNL, The New Slaves, with the awesome melody that I seem to be so fond of, and it won't get out of my head. All in all, it was a huge disappointment. I think it's garbage. And if you like it, you're wrong. You're wrong. Your opinion is wrong. And yes, you're welcome. For me, graciously displaying and giving to you the real opinion of music, you're welcome. I appreciate that you watch me, but if you disagree with me, I don't. All in all, for my score, I would give this an eat a dick 3.8 out of 10. And that's a 3.8. Not even good enough for a 4.0. I don't go by that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 because it's much more technical than that. There's math to be put into this. 3.8, eat a dick out of 10. Done. Yeezus. Kanye West. Tyler the Destroyer, I will eat your fucking face.